movies, and then I studied the studio system, and then I studied distribution, and I would force the studios to send me to countries when I was very young. I was fortunate because I knew I had certain marketing consultations. Now when you're 20 years old and you have marketing consultation, and I'm sitting at these desks, like, they were not excited to have me sit in those meetings. Who is this person? I was always like I said, look, I don't know. I just want you to teach me and learn and see what you do. So I was then they started opening the doors. They realized I'm not trying to tell them what to do. I want to understand.
Yeah.
And I like to understand things and just put all the pieces together for me. And I wanted to go to these countries, and I would force the studios to send me to countries, and I wanted to understand, I wanted to see their movies with them, and I wanted to see the films that I made with them to see how is it communicating. Again, kind of a lifelong journey of how do you feel about life? Like, what things matter to you? Not just reading in some book, but I wanted to experience it, and I wanted to go to these places and work with them and know them, and then see their movies and make movies for them. So a lot of the things that I would then go and realize wow, there's not a lot of theaters around. And at that time, Hollywood was very Hollywood. It was about America, and I was very much about global. And I want to go to those places. I want to work there, so I want to be there. And I would watch these movies, and then eventually I came up, when I would go, it would take months to travel, and I'm like, I make movies all the time. Like, I don't have time off. I don't want time off. I want to make movies. And so that's when I came up with the red carpet premieres. I was like, I can do, let's bring the Hollywood kind of culture to them. And I came up with the red carpet premieres, and then I could do a country every other day or a day, and then travel around or spend days there where I could have days where I could go to the movies, spend time with artists, and really kind of scout the areas. And that's what I would do. I'd go and look at those areas. This is before the internet, way before the internet. Okay, before you all were born. And I would go and do that, and it was just quite amazing. And then I was like, I was fortunate enough to be there with the studios and saying, you got to build theaters. This is before, like, we used to not release movies in the summer in Europe. In August. It's like, no, there's no air conditioning. I was like, well, why don't we get some air conditioning there in those theaters? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but let's just pump a little air conditioning. I mean, that's a couple of extra weeks. We can, let's go. Yeah. So those are the kind of things and I would always bring it back to movies and stories, just constantly learn something and then try to apply it to the next, right?